Welcome to Cyberholic tutorial 1.1.13. And in this one we are going to create a pagination for my wallpapers block items. As you can see, there's quite some images shown here with half-naked man and half-naked woman within the whole wallpaper section. So if you're offended by that, then please move on and try to find a tutorial on how to create such a pagination somewhere else. There's also some explicit language on some wallpapers. So yeah, if that doesn't bother you, then let's go on. Currently, the pagination looks like this because it has no style sheets, etc. And as you know, we are working with Winter CMS in combination with Fomantic UI. And just give me a second. This sounds like my COVID is trying to transform himself into long COVID. So sorry for that, and sorry for the upcoming interruptions of noises coming out of my mouth. Okay, so this is how the pagination looks right now. And we want it to look like this, because Fomantic UI, within the menu options, has a pre-designed layout for paginations. And I like it like that. So we are going to do it exactly like that. For that, we are going to copy the whole code. Oh, you know what? No, we are going to do it step by step. Sorry. For this, we are going to the wallpapers, into the wallpaper section. And if you remember, here, when you put the component post list onto your page, it auto-generates the showing of the item entries with a for loop. And just let me see if I can put it in full screen. Maybe that's better. Yeah, perfect. Here, from line 17 to 26, we have adapted the for loop starting, in line 18 to 24. We adapted the for loop to our needs. And also with the component, you get an auto-generated pagination, starting here at line 28, going down to line 44. This is the pagination that the component comes with. You can see the unordered list tag, and then if there is more than one page, show this link being active or whatever. And for the upcoming pages, within the variable post last page, from page 1 to the last page, meaning the last entry of the posts array, show these lines, etc., etc. So in theory, you have something like, this is the first thing, this is the middle part, and this is the last thing. We could change that directly in here, but I suggest you to not do so, because wherever you are going to insert a pagination, that would mean that you would have to manually change it page per page. So what we are going to do is create a partial called pagination, and I'm going to put it into the folder site pagination. So I just tell him, hey, insert in here, por favor, insert in here the partial site pagination. I'm moving back to out of full screen, and then I go to partials. If you wonder why I put it in a side folder, that's from my point of view something that I started to use when I started back with October CMS. Is anything that is site related, like a footer, a header, or even something like this, a pagination. Everything that is more or less system or website fixed, let's call it that way, things that repeatedly appear within the standard of a website, I put it into the site folder. You can name it whatever you want. So I put this in here, site pagination, xxx, save it, and then refresh the page simply just to see if between the last rows of the thumbnails here and the pagination itself, if there's going to be an xxx. So is it going to pop up or not? Yeah, there it is. So pagination is working. Perfect. Now we are going to copy it. It's faster because my videos then, thanks to my Raspberry Pi 400, I can't stop making publicity for this wonderful type of machine. Okay, so here it is. Okay, I just simply copied what Fomantic UI offers me. And if we refresh the page, we should have a simple pagination, whereas I'm sure that I'm going to put it inside a segment and center align everything, because I want the pagination to be in the center and not left aligned. So there it is. Oh yeah, it's attached to the images. So we are going to create a segment here coming from Fomantic UI. Div class equals to UI segment. Copy that div to the bottom and center aligned segment. Sorry. Save it. The thing is that the segment itself now has a border, and it should be still glued up to the images. But with the word basic, we are going to remove that border later on. Oh, it's not glued to the images, but as you can see, there's the border. So I want to remove that by simply giving this segment the class basic. So we have UI center aligned basic segment. Okay. So what I'm doing now is copying from the component of post lists. I'm copying this whole block, remove it, I cut it out, save this page, and put it inside pagination. And before we go on with this, we are going to try out if the pagination really works, because currently it's not going to work. And we will see in a second why not. So refresh it, and it should be, everything should be the same. Okay, perfect. So the situation now is this. In terms of layout, we have some kind of skeleton, some kind of scaffolded how the pagination should look like. But here on top, this upper pagination is coming from Fomantic UI, and this one is coming from the component. I'm not sure if OBS Studio can show you the URLs that are connected with these numbers. Currently, they all lead to the same page, wallpapers, because we have not set up a slug, or we have not set up the page that we wanted to be shown. And this is super easy done. For this, we go into wallpapers, open up the, I don't know how you call this one, but this part here, and we need to go to the URL. And at the end of wallpapers, we are going to add the page, is it called tag? I don't know, let's call it attribute. So this way you are saying, hey, when someone opens up the page wallpapers, or the URL, in my case, cyberholic.es/wallpapers, then show the page. The problem is, currently, if you don't put a number in here, if you would in your browser not enter wallpaper /5 or /6 or whatever, it would not work because Page expects a number to be in there. So sorry, this is absolutely wrong what I just said. It's the opposite. Currently, it expects a number. So if you would just call wallpapers like I'm doing right now on the website, I hope that you can see it. I'm not sure if OBS, just let me see. Does OBS show the address bar? It looks like that. Okay, perfect. So let me just show it to you. If I write it like that, 2 dots page, and call the website wallpapers, either by refreshing it or from the menu, it's not going to work because he's saying this page has not been found. I hope it's going to be like that. It should be like that. Because, exactly, there you see it. Because he expects a number or a page or a slug or URL or whatever. It expects something coming from the variable page. And you can omit this by putting a question mark at the end. By putting the question mark, it's a little bit like, if there is something in here, then show the equivalent page with the content. And if not, just show the first page. So if we refresh this now, my Raspberry Pi, I'm right now remembering that I haven't hashtagged Raspberry Pi 400 with my videos. I must do so. Okay, so here it is. Okay. And now if we click on whatever image, whatever number down here on the pagination, in this case 5 or 6 or whatever. Oh, it's still loading. Now it's finished. Why can't I click on the... I can't click because my Pi needs its time. So I clicked on 7. If I can, sorry for the coughing. So I click on 7, and on the URL bar, on the domain bar, you can already address bar, you can already see there's the wallpaper /7. So it's going to open up page 7 with the entries coming there. So this is how the pagination works. Like, we should now have absolutely different wallpapers. It might take now sometimes because the thumbnails are being generated. Hello Scarlet, hello Submarine, hello McDonald's, hello Shia, hello The Woo, hello Leonardo DiCaprio, hello Nike. Okay, so I'm going to move back to page 2. Right now I'm probably going to be blasted with a lot of offended comments. Jesus. In Germany, you have this saying about back on those days, everything was better. The internet was so calm and relaxed, and we were only among us with our 44K modems. Like loading 1 megabyte of an image in 2 minutes. Okay. So we are on page 2 now. Okay, so the pagination works. What I'm going to do now is simply adapt the Fomantic UI code of the pagination to the pagination coming from the component. Let me go to full screen again. I liked it like that. Sorry. And what I'm going to do is this. First of all, I'm saying, okay, just like with the component code, if there is the necessity of a pagination, then do so. Oops. Okay, so if there is more than one page, then show a pagination. And then I'm going to copy this one here and put it as first. And you can see that in Fomantic UI, it works like this, that you want to show an active item in gray, then you put the active class in it, or you have disabled items, etc. So the rest, every link should be inside an item tag. Okay, so I'm going to just remove all of this. Sorry. So, if post current page is bigger than 1, then show this base file name page box preview. He's going to translate it into preview. I'm going to keep it like that at the moment. But what I need to put in here is clause item. Then I'm going to remove this from this here and take the middle part. Beautify everything a little bit. Oops, where you going? Okay, and I can see now that here's a little hurdle, because they have set it up in the listed items. So I'm going to put it's just okay. It's to show if this is the active one, then add the active class to it. So we are going to simply copy this whole class, remove the list tag, and paste it here to the end. Okay, so we have now anchor, hyperrefresh, href, get the page number, etc. And then if the current page is the page that it's showing, then add the active class to it. And we have to put in here item. And then I'm going to take the last part. Oops, and remove this one here. And here's going to be the same. Super easy, equals to item. And this should be it, if I'm correct. Let's take a look. I'm refreshing here the page, and let's see how it looks like. Sorry. Okay, this is quite a lot. I remember that somewhere it is fixed on how many I will have to look this one up, because I remember that I encountered this problem already long ago, and what was it? I can't remember it anymore. I will have to check last page. I will have to check that up. At the moment, what I'm going to simply do is just remove the words so that I have the arrows, and so that it should fit. If not, then there's another option to make the pagination even smaller. Where is it? It still doesn't fit. Crazy shy. Okay. And this is by UA pagination here on line 3. I'm going to say UA pagination small menu. But I don't think that this would be enough so that it would fit in there. Sorry. Just let me see. No, it doesn't. It's really it's smaller, and I get the number 9, but that's missing. Okay, I will have to look that up, because I remember that it needed to be something like hard-coded or whatever. I can't remember it really anymore. maybe we have the option to, is this a for loop? You have for page in one until the last page. Okay. The problem is probably if I put a 5 in here, just let me try this one out. So that I just want to 5 numbers left and right, so I just want to have 7 buttons. Let me see if he's going to center the number. Just let me check that. Okay. So this fits right now, but what happens if I hit number 5? Is he going to put it on the furthermost left, or is it, let's see, we will see. So now it fits, but I want page number 5. Mambo number 5. Sorry again. Have there been any COVID songs in the last 2 years? I can't remember having any rapper rapping about COVID in terms of, you know, like starting a battle against COVID or whatever. Okay, now I'm on page 5. Okay, and let's see what happens if I now hit the next arrow. It's going to stay like that. This is new to me because I remember that I already had that problem, but because it was on a desktop website, that was no problem at all. Okay, now I hit the next button. My browser is refreshing, and let's see what numbers we are going to get there. Oh, and I also remember my solution. One solution that I did was to show the numbers as drop down. Okay, this does not work like that. I thought it's going to work like that, but it doesn't. So I will have to look that up, or we are going to put a drop down in here, and then you can select the page. That's also nice, I think. Okay, I will look that up and then come up with a solution either as drop down or being able to have here then, in this case, page 6 to 10 or whatever, and so on. Sorry, and here, and see you later.